from church and Trader Joe's. So I'm gonna do a little grocery haul for you all. I want to make breakfast burritos for myself this week. So to start off, I have some carb-savvy whole wheat tortillas, some no sugar added bacon, and then for the fun stuff, I got puff pastry. This week is New Year's week, and I want to make the viral onion tart for our like church-wide New Year's Eve party. And I also got this herbed goat cheese. I saw some recipes used boursin, garlic, and herb, but they didn't have that at Trader Joe's, so I got this instead. And then for the really fun stuff, I had dinner with Abby on Friday. We got pho, and she was telling me about the festive chaos gummy mix. I am a huge fan of gummies, so I said I had to get this. I love their Scandinavian, super sour Scandinavian swimmers. Although I really wish they would make an all blue pack, because I would go crazy for that. But she said these are really good. This is a shoe. It's like a little sneaker. They describe it as a kaleidoscopic bag of gummy candy featuring a bouncy chew. And I feel like that actually describes this very accurately. And then I saw they have a new flavor of Hold the Cone. These are my favorite thing from Trader Joe's. I buy them almost every time I go. And I've never seen strawberry before, but strawberry is like my favorite, one of my favorite flavors of ice cream. I wish they would make pistachio, because that would be bomb. While I'm in the kitchen, I'm going to make a dirty Diet Coke. So I don't know how the rest of you make dirty Diet Cokes, but I just do oops, that was a little much. Some recipes I saw call for coconut syrup and half, but I like using the Coffee Mate because it's really easy and uncomplicated. Also, this stuff is really good in coffee. Like sometimes I'll add a dash of it to my latte with a spoonful of cocoa powder, and that combination is fabulous. And then a dash of lime juice. Fresh is better, but again, this will do in a pinch. Not too much. I put too much in yesterday, and it was very limey, and I don't like it that strong. Of course, a straw. Oh yeah, that's good. This has separated. That looks really gross, but it still tastes good. So it being the last week of the year / first week of the year, I feel like there's so much, like almost like a social expectation that you're on vacation, which is not the case for me. I'm not in school and I have my own business, so I kind of set my own hours. And honestly, I don't want to like spend the week between Christmas and New Year's being lazy, eating and binge watching TV, because I've done that before and I don't love the way it feels. But also, I'm coming off like 3 months that are the most stressful of the entire year. And so to go from constantly working and also like all of the social stuff that's going on between my birthday and Thanksgiving and Christmas, it is not fun for me to go suddenly from being very stressed out to being very relaxed. It's like whiplash. So I haven't wanted to just completely check out. I've been working pretty hard the last few days, and I have one thing in particular I really need to get done in the next 48 hours is take inventory of my business. So if you have a product-based business or any business that sells product, you have to take an inventory for tax purposes the following year. Unlike everything else, you can't write it off. It's actually something you're taxed on, which kind of makes sense because I guess everybody would just buy a bunch of product at the end of the year if it was a write-off, and then nobody would ever pay any taxes. So I have to do that, and it's gonna be my main focus over the next couple days. I might get it done tomorrow, but if not, maybe I'll work on it Tuesday. It would be nice to take the bulk of New Year's Eve off, and I'll also have a few orders and some messages to answer as usual. But I've also been spending time going over what worked and what didn't, trying to come up with like a game plan for 2025, and I have some ideas. So that's what I've been doing the last few days. Something else I really want to get done before the end of the year is to finish my reading for 2024. I did not read many books in 2024. Like, I think I read more than last year, which is really saying something because I think I read or started reading 7 books. And I have not finished all of them. And a couple of them I did not finish. This year I listened to less. I'm normally a big audiobooks person, but this year I did make an effort to read more physical books. I haven't talked about all of the books I've been reading. I did do a little like summer American inspired reading list in my American Girl summer vlog, which I'll put up here if you are new and you haven't seen it. And I think it's my favorite vlog that I've made so far. It was just, the whole thing was so fun. I feel like it really encapsulated everything that's awesome about summer, and it was just like fun to make. But in that vlog I shared 3 books that I was reading, and then I have some others that I've picked up throughout the year. I think I'm gonna start with a couple of books that I picked up and did not finish. There's one called Happy Place by Emily Henry. I know people rave about her writing, and it wasn't that the writing was bad. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for like something light and romancy. I just really didn't connect with the characters, and I didn't make it very far into the book. I have a hard copy. I actually got it as my like reward in the reading program that our local library did, which they did like bingo, because I did not read that many books, and that was the only way I was gonna accomplish a reading program, was if it was like situational. It was like, read a book in bare feet, read a book outside, read a book at night, in the morning, like with a snack. Like, so I did manage to mark off all of those and get the free book prize. The other one that I picked up and didn't finish was a YA called, was it like An Unexpected Unlikely Proposition? I should have known from the name that it wasn't going to meet my expectations, because that title, it's like the name of a chapter in a book I would have written when I was 14. That's not the name of a book. And no, it was definitely written because Bridgerton exists, and I'm not really into Bridgerton, so it really didn't jive with me. I think the biggest issue with it was the second book in a series, and I didn't know that when I picked it up. There were like 20 characters right off the bat, and I did not connect with any of them, and I ultimately put it down. From the reviews, it does seem like it's a clean read, so if you're looking for something light and fluffy and clean to read, maybe check that out. I don't remember the author, but I'll put a picture of it up here. Moving on to the books that I finished, I did finish The American Royals, book 4, Rain. The first book in that series is the best. If you're curious about it, you could read it as a standalone, but I really feel like the series did not need 4 books, and there was just like a lot of partner swapping and drama that went on in the rest of them that was not very satisfying. The end was like, okay, I guess it works out, but it wasn't like an incredible book. It was an easy read, that's why I finished it first. The other 2 books that were on my summer reading list were a lot longer. I got about 2/3 of the way through American Prometheus before I had to return to the library, and then I didn't check it out again. So I haven't been able to get my hands on a physical copy, and I'm listening to the rest of it. There was like 8 hours left out of 24. I would have finished it if I could have kept it. I like biographies, and I find them pretty engaging, actually. I think there's something about, you know what, that actually reminds me, I have another book I didn't finish, and I see it up here because I do want to keep reading it. I started Jacqueline in Paris, which is about Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy in her youth. And that's the problem with that book, is that it's a fictionalized account of a real life person, and I would so much rather read a biography. So I think I'm going to put a biography about Jacqueline Kennedy on my to-read list for 2025. I'll probably still try to read that one, but ultimately all it's doing is making me more interested in reading about the real person and not this fictionalized account. Going back to the Oppenheimer biography, I did find it really interesting. It's kind of dense, kind of long, but it's stuff that actually happened, so I really do appreciate reading about that. Something else I finished was the only audiobook that I listened to this year, which was Martin Luther by Eric Metaxas. This is the second book of his that I've listened to or read, because I think I listened to Bonhoeffer a few years ago, and I'd like to read more of his books. That one, again, it was just really interesting to learn more about Martin Luther, who I have a very like surface level knowledge about, and more about the history of that. There was like 1 or 2 other YA books that I read earlier in the year too. First one was Golden State, or The Golden State. This one's just kind of like a thrillery type novel about a high school girl whose family is on the run from some unknown thing. Definitely not like a 5-star read in terms of quality, but it was entertaining. And the other one was A Study in Charlotte, which is a modern retelling, but also like it's not just like a retelling of Sherlock Holmes, it's like supposed to be his like great-granddaughter or like great-grandniece or something. I don't think great-granddaughter is correct because Sherlock Holmes definitely never married and had children. Anyway, she's a descendant of Sherlock Holmes. She's like female Sherlock Holmes reincarnated at a modern boarding school in New England. Great concept. I thought it held up pretty well. Sometimes those things can be extremely cheesy. I had been wanting to read it for years. The cover art really drew me in. It's very much my style. I will say there's like a lot of mature content dealt with it. There's talk about drugs and SA and all sorts of things like that. So if that bothers you, I would not read it. I might read more of the books in that series. I'm not sure. I'm not like dying to. And then the books that I haven't finished yet, and I think these are the only ones. I started and haven't finished Erewhon and Erewhon Revisited. I refer to that in my reorganization blog as well. It is just silly. I'm not like a big fantasy reader, that is what it is. It's about this fictional country where health is the first priority and people who are sick are like put in jail because they're breaking the law of health or something. I think what really killed the vibe for me was when I realized that all of the names in this fictional country are just English names written backwards. And I just, like, as soon as I realized that, I was just like, it just seemed really goofy to me from that point forward. So maybe I'll try to finish it, but it's not like super important to me. So there's 2 books that I haven't finished reading yet. One is The Lincoln Highway by Emma Towles, and the other one is by Ruth Reichel. This is Garlic and Sapphires, which is The Secret Life of a Food Critic in Disguise. I read her memoir, Save Me the Plums, in 2019, and I really, really liked that. So I wanted to get this and read that as well. And I started it, just got distracted from it. The Lincoln Highway, I'm like halfway through. It's a slower paced read. It's like more literary and like more sweeping. It's not very like tightly edited, which I do appreciate. I like that. I just need some time to finish it up. So I'll probably try to read this afternoon. It's the perfect afternoon, evening for reading. It's been raining the whole time. It's dark out now. It's very, very cozy. I've turned this so you can see my face and it's not completely in shadow, but it's rather harsh lighting. Review The Lincoln Highway, which I just finished. It was very thoughtfully plotted and written. And again, I do appreciate when a book is not edited down within an inch of its life, because then it just feels like it's rushed. I did not foresee the ending. I have mixed feelings about it. The one problem I had with the book was the formatting. It was not written in a typical paragraph. Like, there were paragraphs, but they weren't punctuated normally. Each new line was hyphenated instead of using parentheses. So in my head, the reading was very unnatural. It probably would have been an easier book to listen to. I felt like I was reading a screenplay the whole time. It was it was not a thriller, it was an adventure, and it had a decent amount of whimsy, and I appreciate that. So that was an enjoyable read. I'm glad I finished it, and I'm glad I read it. I will probably put another one of Amortal's books on my to-read list for 2025. But yeah, there, I've marked another book off of my reading for the year. That brings my total books read up to 4. I'm not proud of that. I did read more books this year than listen to them, and I am proud of that. I'm going to a workout class at 5:15, but I need to go to the UPS store before that to drop off packages because they're closed tomorrow and I did not have them ready in time. So I'm gonna keep working on my Christmas binder design. It's nearly done. I just need to add some shadows and a few more details to a couple of specific spots, and then it'll be ready to scan. I haven't made any new binder designs in a while, so I'm glad I'm working on this. It's done, and it's just turned 4:46, so I gotta skedaddle. I went to Chick-fil-A and got a peppermint iced coffee, which I got a big dose of the peppermint syrup in the first sip, and it really tasted like a candle to me, but it's growing on me. I think I like the plain better. I was gonna go to the UPS store before my class, but when I pulled in, it was an absolute zoo. All the parking was messed up, and I could see it was really busy inside. So I'm just gonna come back after my class because it should still be open. And now, hopefully I can even, I really thought a half hour was gonna be enough to drive just a short distance into town and then up. So I went to bar class, and we had a sub-instructor, and she did a much more ballet forward bar class. It was a lot of fun. She did just like a lot of basic ballet moves like rond de jambe and like the positions. We did some like jumps in position. That was really hard. And my friend Abby was there too. We like planned to meet up at the class, and then afterward I went back to the UPS store because I was gonna go beforehand afterward, and then I went to Ulta. I am almost out of my daily moisturizer, so I got another one with and one without sunscreen. It was on sale, and I had a coupon, so that was nice. And then I went in Marshall's to do a return and decided to peek at the PJs. These really cute cupcakes and cashmere ones. They're 100% cotton, and they're just adorable. I ended up having a little bit of extra money in my Christmas budget because I got a duplicate gift from someone. So I got these. I don't know if I'm going to keep them or not, but I just couldn't resist picking them up and taking them home to try. Also, I went on at length in a previous vlog about how much I wanted to get a Hatch alarm clock or a sunrise lamp. And specifically, I'm a little guilty of being enamored with brand names. So I somehow was under the impression that a Hatch brand alarm clock would be better than some knockoff brand. And I spoke about how I wanted it to be able to play a podcast in the morning when I wake up. It was on my Christmas list. I didn't get it as a Christmas gift, but I saw someone post about how it was at TJ Maxx for a discounted price. So I went and got one. There was one at my TJ Maxx, and it was a Hatch Restore. It was $70. I could not set it up. I don't know why it needs 10 minutes to connect to my local Wi-Fi, like in my house, but I must have tried like at least half a dozen times to get it to work, probably more. And every time it would conk out at like 8 minutes left. No reason. There's a lot of gobbledygook about it has to be on 2.4 hertz Wi-Fi. I asked my brother about it. He's pretty knowledgeable about internet stuff, and he was very confused. So before I kept trying to make this work, I decided to just Google really quick if it even would play podcasts. And it doesn't. All it does is play sounds from the Hatch library. I am so unimpressed by this. I will be taking it back, and I will be finding some other alternative so I can listen to a podcast in the morning, because no, I'm not going to pay $70 for an alarm clock that desperately needs a Bluetooth connection to play sleep sounds and nothing else. You would think for such an expensive alarm clock it would at least work like a smart speaker, but no, it doesn't. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you since I made such a fuss about getting a Hatch alarm clock in a previous vlog, and I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm also kind of like glad that I don't have to spend $70 on the alarm clock anymore. Hey all, I'm back at the shop. This ghost just here. I just packaged up some of the orders that I got from yesterday, and now I'm going to count inventory. And I have a spreadsheet from last year that I'm just going to add a column to because all of the items I sell are already listed there, so like why make? And I was thinking I really wanted to organize everything, but I think it makes more sense to count everything because it's kind of broken up into smaller quantities, and then spend time reorganizing when I'm done, because it's already noon and I don't want to be here all day. I want to go home and make my onion tart for the party tonight. So without further ado, let's begin. Recipe cards. I had to stop filming because when I ran out of space and the camera overheated. So now all that's left is wrapping paper and binders. Some wrapping paper I didn't sell as much of this year as I expected to. So like I still have a big old box of skier wrapping paper here. Hopefully this won't take too long.
Please enjoy this few seconds of satisfying wrapping paper counting montage This whole clip was almost an hour long, and there was no way I was going to edit the whole thing, so that's all you get. Sorry.
Well, I didn't really get to the binders. It's like past 4 now, so I really do need to go home and start my tart. So I guess I'll finish the binders tomorrow. I was hoping it'd be quick because they're all in boxes with labels and they have quantities on them too. Thank you printer. But they're all kind of jumbled together on the pallets, and I'm kind of beat from moving all that wrapping paper around. So I think I'm just gonna head home and I will check back with you there. There's a piece of fuzz. I thought that was a bug. So I've changed. I'm gonna make the onion tart now. I've already chopped up some whole onions and put them on the oven to roast. I'm using a recipe from America's Test Kitchen, and they call for shallots and onions, but I don't have shallots, so we're just doing onions. I need to chop up another pound of onions in slices to caramelize for like the bottom layer of the tart. I'm using America's Test Kitchen recipe, and their method for caramelizing onions involves adding a pinch of baking soda to make them caramelize faster. So I'm interested to see how this works out. I've never tried it before. I think they need to roast a little bit longer. Onions, caramelized. Made a vinegar reduction, and then the roasted onions are down here. Luck. No, I just don't want the plate to slide around.
You can hear it.
It's like one little piece.
You want me to help you?
Nope, I can't. Now I have to take out the rest of these and put them back in.
Looks good though.
Yeah, it turned out good.
It's hot.
Yeah, it was 400 degrees. Toasty. I put too much sugar in the vinegar sauce, like the vinegar reduction.
Oh, that's what I was smelling when I was cleaning.
I have this Kendall and Kylie top, and I got the headband from Anthropology that I picked up in my indie vlog. I was poking around on their site shortly after that, and I saw it was on clearance, so it was like $8, and I think it goes really, really cute with the outfit. I have the bow earrings I wore to Chicago, and then I'm kind of casual on the bottom, just with boots and a jean skirt. Happy New Year! I'm back again at the shop eating leftover onion tart. This stuff is so good. I fear I ate and devoured making this. And the goat cheese, incredible. I don't even like goat cheese, but that combo is insane. So good. So I didn't get to the binders yesterday. As you can see, it's looking a little bit cleared out. I have sold through a lot. I have some bigger stacks over there. Also over there, it looks like a tornado went through because I've just been like chucking empty cardboard boxes over there as they've been emptied out. So once I'm done counting, I need to break down all that cardboard and like stack it up neatly so it can be taken up to the dumpster. But first, binder counting.
mess up here. This box here and that are part of a bookshelf, the one that used to be in my bedroom at home. And I need to get some little nails so I can repair it because it's kind of falling apart. Trash behind me still needs taken out. I think I need an extra pair of hands here to do that, or just a day where I have more bandwidth. I'm gonna go find a Starbucks near me that has chestnut praline lattes still, because like all of them are sold out apparently, except for like the grocery store locations. And I'm gonna work on editing my vlog for this week. I can be very focused when I'm working sometimes, but almost to a fault where I don't know where to stop working on something and work on something else. So that is one of my goals for this year. So cold outside. I'm getting some gas before I head home. I did make some progress on my vlog. The easiest vlogs to edit are like a bunch of short clips. Like my Chicago vlog was super easy to throw together. It took a couple of hours, maybe a few at most. This is a like process vlog, so there's like hours and hours of footage that I have to kind of comb through looking for little sections to slice together. It takes forever. Probably work on it more tonight. I also want to read. I finished listening to Oppenheimer. So I just have Garlic and Sapphires left from my 2024 reading. And that shouldn't be like a hard or like difficult read. I've read a couple of Ruth Reichel's books and her stories are interesting. And I think it's just a matter of getting back into it. I'm sitting here editing and I decided I needed a sweet treat. So I'm going to try one of the mini hold the cones in strawberry that I got from Trader Joe's on Sunday. I think that's good strawberry ice cream. It's actually a little bit overpowered by the chocolate, but I love chocolate strawberry things, so I'm glad they have this flavor. I'm going to make my second coffee of the day before I go to work. I had an interesting drink in Chicago. It was a peppermint mocha, but it tasted more like an herbal peppermint than like a strong extract peppermint. And so I'm wondering if maybe they did their own herbal infusion in the syrup instead of using oils. And it gave me the idea to make a peppermint tea mocha. So like peppermint tea mocha, if you will, like a chai, like a dirty chai. And I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. Okay, got the peppermint tea bag. I also put mascara on while I was in my room. It's not exactly one of my resolutions. I kind of started it before, more like a winter arc thing than a resolution. Just do my hair and makeup more on a daily basis. Today is very low maintenance. You can see my claw clip doesn't even match my outfit. And that's how you really don't know I don't care. But I'm going to the gym tonight, hopefully. And I'm also making dinner tonight. I need to watch it. So I don't want to wear makeup and like get all sweaty at the gym later. Some stevia to sweeten this. It smells pepperminty.
And then this is going in because I have to work.
That smells amazing. That is really hot.
Good, but it's missing something. I think maybe it needs a combination of the oils and the tea. But I don't hate it. It has potential.
I mentioned earlier that it's my next week dinner, and I'm making a roast chicken. Last year, my mom said she wanted to serve more fish, and she asked me if I'd like to make fish every week for the family. So I did that, and I got pretty proficient in making fish. So I thought this year, our chicken feels. That way you can see what Julia Child has to say, since I have one of her products now. Should make more use of it. One thing I have never done is dress a chicken, so this will be a first. 2 tablespoons. I have not learned to dress a chicken. So it seems like the trick to roasting a chicken is to turn it over and turn it over and turn it over so it gets browned evenly on all sides. My usual modus operandi is just stick the whole thing in the oven, let it bake till it's done, or to put it in the Instant Pot with some water and seasonings and just cook it till it's falling off the bone. But we are roasting the chicken, not just cooking it, so having already skipped the dressing part, I intend to do the rest correctly. I promise I'm not just being lazy. My word, guys, it's still completely raw inside. How long is this going to take? I'm very tempted to turn off the oven temperature because it's like almost 6:30 already. It's such a long time. I'm turning off the oven. Okay, I think the problem is every time I open the oven to baste it, it cools off. So I've raised the temperature, and note to self, in the future, just bake it at a higher temperature because it's going to cool down. Also, I can see why you would truss it, since you have to turn it to create like the rotisserie chicken crispy skin effect. But I feel like if it was trussed, it would be even harder to turn. So, hi from inside my cabinet. It's 7:30. The chicken is still not done, and I just really want to eat dinner and move on with my night. Hey, at least I know for next time that you can't start roasting the chicken at 4:30 p.m. and expect it to be done in a reasonable amount of time. I think it was also a little bit frozen, which is definitely adding to my woes. This is not exactly a fail, but it's one of the most frustrating things I've done in the kitchen recently. Pardon the moment. It's like an action shot. It's just drippings, a little bit of the bouillon. Please do disregard the pile of trash behind me that's ruining the aesthetic, but I don't want to go out in the snow and drag a heavy box of cardboard out there. That said, it's Friday afternoon in it's almost like 3:30, and I'm just sitting down to finally do some artwork for the first time since Monday or Tuesday, and I really, really want to do better about that this year. This is very dusty because I haven't scanned anything in a while. I'm scanning the binder art, and then I'll probably just take that file home with me on my computer, and I'll probably try to work on something else while I'm still here. By the way, I don't know if I showed you the finished product, but here it is. I think that's gonna make a really cute binder. I want to do a video soon about getting out of a creative rut. And now would be the ideal time to start it, but I'm not really in the headspace and I don't have the time, so maybe I'll just brainstorm about how I'm gonna do that. I have a bunch of unfinished art here that I'm going to peek through and see if I can make anything from. Today, I'm not really feeling any of these. Okay, I've found a better location for you guys, and I have also decided what I'm going to make. Today I'm just going with the path of least resistance, something I've been thinking about for a while, and I have a bunch of inspiration saved on Pinterest, so I'm just going to start sketching. I probably won't make very much progress, definitely won't get to painting today. Ideation and sketching takes so much longer than painting for me, and that's really frustrating because I wish I could make things faster, but I refuse to sacrifice quality over quantity because I know myself.